Alright guys, welcome back to Team CCG. This is Mario with Rafi.
What's up?
This is our resident blue player, and today we're going to be covering Rafi's blue Broku deck.
Goku, yeah.
Broku. So Rafi, give us a little bit of an insight on what the deck does and what the theme of the deck is.
Pretty much, it's real gimmicky. It's really fun to play. I'm not gonna say it wins 100% of the time, but the whole point of the deck is to get out your waiting drill and just rejuve like heck. Just to watch your opponent's face change as they see that they've clinched victory and then realize they've clinched nothing.
Alright. So you want to go ahead and go over the MP stack and what we got?
Yeah, we have, of course, Ally Goku. Bounce an ally back to hand, extremely powerful. Search an ally out at the beginning of your turn, which people like to hate on that, but you have no idea how good that is in combination with your waiting drill, because that means that you can just pass rejuve and just make your opponent mill 2 outside of combat.
Okay.
You really don't want to enter in on this. So next we have original Goku 2, just in case you get dug up or clashed or anything like that. You want a way to get back down to 1. It's very necessary.
It also fetches the drill.
It also fetches the drill, yeah. Normally when you see this deck, you see them run with the Goku ally MPs. I put the new 3 and 4 just because your opponent's just expecting the allies.
Right.
So 3, I think, is the best Goku level there is right now. That's just my opinion.
Right.
And if I see 4, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could use if that ever happens, you get 4 and then terror time.
Terror time.
time.
Yeah, just go nuts.
And then your mastery, the blue tag.
And then blue tag, of course.
All right, awesome. So you want to just take us over the list?
Yeah, we're gonna start off with the non-combats. Let's go over, of course, 3 blue waiting drills. It's absolutely necessary to run 3. You have to run 3 in this deck. It's pretty much the main engine of your deck. You play an ally, rejuve 1. You rejuve an ally, mill 2. So it's awesome.
Okay.
And then, of course, 2 VTPs, because this is still Dragon Ball. And I actually have in 2 Earth Dragon Balls, Earth Ball 4 and Earth Ball 7. I run a pretty decent number of cards that are going to bounce my own allies out. But sometimes that's not always the case. That the cards aren't always in your favor. So DB4 is great to destroy your own allies so that you could rejuve them and then make your opponent mill for them. And DB7 is just a great out.
Awesome. And also ball 4 goes
and
with
it also
additional
goes
mill.
with the mill. Exactly. So that's why I run those 2. So now pretty much the main event of the deck, the allies, of course. We're going to go ahead and run Vegeta just because his interaction with Goku is incredible. It's an Omni block that can't be sphered.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Roshi, it is so great to get the low roll on these new orange decks and just tell them, no. Nope, you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
And with Goku, you could always bounce Roshi back to your hand if you ever need to.
Yeah, so you can trigger Goku search or blue terror.
Exactly.
Not just that, but also all of the decks now, like Unleash is very popular.
Unleashed is ridiculous. Even with the nerf, Unleashed is still everywhere.
Kills a lot of decks.
Yeah, it just says no. Pretty much everyone now in the meta likes to search. It's just good.
Right.
We have Oolong because we're really not going to be critting this game. Where you're not going to crit. This is a lot of poke damage. Oolong just says, hey, you can keep your Dragon Balls. Go ahead and keep them. They just don't do anything for you until you play 7 of them. That's about it. And in games where you're not going to be playing against Dragon Balls, Oolong is one of those incredible pass rejuve allies.
Yeah.
So pass rejuve Oolong, your opponent mills 2 just because.
Right.
Chi-Chi, just because her interaction with Goku, physical blocks are always good. Corn, because just helping you get that rejuve off.
Right.
Maybe you get an ally, maybe you don't, but who cares? It extends the game. It extends your longevity.
Right.
Bulma, because Bulma. There's a rule, in my opinion, like I've always said this in blue. If there is a card with Bulma's face on it, you run that card. That's it.
Yeah.
You run that card. So you'll see later. Next we have, for some reason, I do not have a copy of this ally right now. We have 13 copies of every ally in this game, except for Yajirobe. Yajirobe goes in the deck. He shuts down VTP. He shuts down Slumber. He shuts down some of the red setups, and he's just awesome. I love Yajirobe. He's like a nerfed Nappa.
We got a backwards card in place of it.
Yeah. So, Gohan. You want a Kaioken? That's fine. Go ahead and Kaioken. But you're only getting one. You have no idea how many times people forget about Gohan.
Yep.
I have been running Ginyu since set 1. And Gohan was the bane of my existence in Ginyu, because you have no idea how many times I personally forget, okay, let's just body switch. Nope. You get 1 anger. Oh, okay, Ginyu 2. I'm going to gain 4 anger. Nope, you gain 1 anger. It's just really good.
Especially in this meta with Orange, the 2 anger cards.
The Mastery just gives you 2 anger, just because. And the real engine of the deck, Ox King. Just use and abuse Ox King. Red loves to there's some matchups that you just want to leave Ox King out there. Red and Orange specifically. But just bouncing Ox King in and out, and with your waiting drill, it means you're going to be rejuving 4 every time you play it.
Not even with that, but like also other Goku decks, like killing the modifiers on them.
Yeah, killing the modifier with Goku, they can't prevent you. Early Goku that wants to search the discard pile, like, you know what I mean? Just like, oh, that's the top card of your discard? Well, here's this. I'm going to rejuve 3. 2 of them were allies. So there you go.
And with allies in the banish pile, that's not a serious problem.
This is tag team. Allies in the banish pile haven't been a problem since set 4.
I would imagine it's even worse now because of the drill. So in the combat,
and the combat, rejuve an ally from the banish pile. Hey, mill 2. So you're gonna see now I run a bunch of cards that let me banish and remove my own allies. So we're actually gonna move to events time, because time. No, we don't need to say anything else about that. Blue time, because
blue farewell.
Blue time.
Bye bye to all your attacks. Like,
yeah, no attacks. Nothing's gonna hit, but like
you can still rejuve.
I can still rejuve. Overpowering attack doesn't need to hit. You know what I mean? Like, so 2 Goku search, because again, it's crucial to get that drill out. A lot of times I'll rip into Goku search, and I'll just hold on to it, because I know eventually my opponent's gonna get rid of that drill, and I need to have that drill. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. 2 stare downs. Confrontation, sorry. Again, Ginyu player. Not really used to heroes, guys. Sorry. Confrontation, just because, you know, sabotage is always great.
Yep.
2 blue defensive effects. First off, 6 endurance.
Yeah.
It's the only, to my knowledge, it's the only one in the game.
Yeah.
With 6 endurance.
If it's not that, it's Broly's 10 endurance.
Then it's Broly's 10 endurance, but I don't count Broly. He's a cheater. This is like a wall breaker that cannot be critted off. You can't crit this wall breaker off. Right. So, no.
Yeah.
It's great when your opponent has 4 anger and you're just like, no more anger for you, bro. Sorry.
The only downside would be a sphere, but not. I mean, then again, it's like
then again, you're like
card versus a $105 card.
Yeah.
So, you can take that.
I'm all right. Yeah. And then of course the great blue shifting maneuvers. 2 endurance is great. You're never gonna discard this. It's always gonna be banished. If there's 2 cards in here that raise my anger, I'll be surprised.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna go on to the energies. We have blue flight. Again, banish your allies at the end of combat. Rejuve them. Mill 2, not only that, but if you do banish the allies, you get to search your deck for an ally and play it. Meaning that's going to trigger your drill, that's going to trigger the rejuve.
Nice.
So there's that. A lot of times if my opponent comes at me and I know it's going to crit, and I have this in hand already, sometimes I will let that card crit. Go ahead and get the ally. Get the ally out of there. Go for it. So I can banish it, search the deck, play something, rejuve the ally. Now you have to mill 2.
That's nice.
2 blindings. Again, same with DB7. Sometimes you just need that out. And with ally decks, a lot of non-combats, things can go really bad, really fast, and you just need to have it out.
Right.
Terror.
Stable.
Enough said. 2 neck beams. Again, I would like to have it to 3, but at the same time, running 2 ofs does give your deck a little bit more versatility, in my opinion. So I don't hate it at 2. Just it's one of those cards that I really wish.
For space.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I mean, like you could always rejuve it. There's enough rejuvenation in the deck that you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why I actually I'm okay with running a lot of these 2 ofs, just because I'm more than likely going to rejuve that card at least one time. Blue Discharge. Quick little anger control. Your opponent loses 2, 7 life. This is the hardest hitting card in this deck. Nothing hits harder than this. Hit. I can. Is it? Yeah, rejuvenate an ally you control. So right away, your opponent's going to be milling 2 with the drill in play.
Right.
Then search your discard for an ally and play it. So you're going to be rejuving yet again.
Right. So how come at 2? Because I feel like that card would be a very good trigger for the engine.
The problem with running it at 3, you really don't want to see this early game. In the event you only have 1 ally in play, this is not the card that you want to see, because you don't. If this hits, you have to rejuve that ally.
Right.
So if you're trying to hold your opponent down with Roshi, this is not the card you want to see.
Right.
Because as you know, the tag mastery will protect you from the crit.
Right.
So
okay. That's a good reason.
3 overpowerings. I like it at 3 because it does not play the ally, it places it into play. But a lot of these decks that want to deal heavy stage damage, this is going to bring an ally in at 5 stages.
Right.
So it won't trigger waiting drill, but
it's an ally deck,
it's
so
yeah.
you can't not run it.
Yeah, exactly. And then for the energies, last but not least, you all knew it was coming. 3 Blue Clash. You just have to run Blue Clash. It's
4 unpreventable.
4 unpreventable, man. Best case scenario, you blue flight, banish your ally. Even if your opponent doesn't banish your ally himself, you can get him back. You can always get him back. This is blue. You know what I mean?
Or even if they banish it and they don't, you catch them without a block. It's like
And you
8
catch 'em-
unpreventable.
And it's just always great.
Yeah.
If I don't have Goku Search in hand, a lot of times I'll just hold on to this to pray that my opponent wants to banish an ally from the field.
Right.
So like, just have fun.
Right.
We're gonna move on to the physicals. We run 3 crouch. Again, Bulma, you gotta run it. It's law.
Yeah.
3 endurance. You are gonna be sitting on level 1. I know a lot of people prefer deterrence over this because it's 2 endurance, drop your opponent to anger, but I just cannot pass up the opportunity just to toss 3 endurance to the top of my life deck.
Right.
That's just too good to not do.
Not just that, but like with this Goku, his stages are not the greatest. I mean, he's still pretty strong, but like
Yeah,
he's
he
not
hits D at 10, but
after that, he's pretty much C.
yeah,
And like you can afford to get punched in the face.
exactly.
So
2 betrayals because, I mean, it's the second best field control card in the game. Second best only to Orange Stare Down, right?
Yeah.
Orange Stare Down. Just because Orange Stare Down deals life cards and this is just AT stages. But Rafi, why only 2? Well, because we also run 2 decapitations. So that means I essentially have 4 betrayals or 5 head knocks, or you know what I mean. So it's just
Right.
I feel okay leaving it at 2, knowing that not only I'll be able to tutor it out with decapitation, but also the heavy rejuvenating that we're gonna be popping off.
It gives you that flexibility, like in the games that you might not need the betrayal.
Exactly.
You can always use it for something else.
This is something I've been iffy on. Blue Toss. It's damage AT 4 stages, so most of the time it's 4 stages. It makes your next energy attack free, meaning that blue discharge that costs you. Does blue discharge cost you 2 or 3? I don't remember.
It's 2.
It's 2. Well, either way, it's free. You know, we do run. It's pretty balanced between energies and physicals because.
Right.
I want to make my opponent think, man, do I toss the energy or do I toss the physical? You don't really ever have a for sure answer. Hit, I'm going to get rid of an ally in play. One of my allies.
Yeah, you put it at the bottom.
Put it at the bottom, which is great.
Especially because you can tutor them out.
I can tutor them
So
out.
you can throw that out and then overpowering. And then
So if I already know for a fact that Goku hit, all right, Goku already hit this turn. Let's go ahead and let's put Roshi to the bottom. Let me do my terror. Let me do, you know what I mean? Let me search what I need to search. And then, hey, by the way, I'm going to put Roshi back to the top of the life deck, guys. So there's that.
Okay.
Next, we have Blue Round Throw. Just the versatility of this card is awesome. I love it. Again, 2 of because of decapitation and the rejuvenating. Lower your opponent's angle 1. There you go.
Yeah. It's a little bit of stage pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
That also helps.
Yeah, AT5 is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
Next, we have 3 head knocks. I know, running 2 physicals because of decap. No, you run 3 head knocks. You run 3 head knocks every time. If you're running blue, you run 3 head knocks.
It's a staple.
Bulma's on the card, man. Bulma on the artwork, man. You have to run 3 head knocks.
Yeah.
It's necessary. And last but not least, one of my favorites, Blue Arrest. 3 endurance, which is great. Instantly rejuve 3 allies. Your opponent's going to be milling 6 off of this, which is great. That's all unavoidable damage. Hit, go ahead and search one of those allies that you just milled, that you just rejuved, sorry. So that's great. There's not much more to say to that.
Yeah, I know.
There are some changes that I'd like to make, some things here and there. For example, I would like to add in Blue Slash just to help push that mill, that unavoidable damage. I would also like to throw Kami in here. The problem is with Kami is he says when he leaves play, you have to search a Dragon Ball. And if I already have Earth Ball 4 in play, guess what? I only have Earth 7 to target. So that's not bueno. We can't do that. But yeah, that's pretty much Tag Broku. That's
the deck.
That's the deck.
And your experience playing with it?
It is a very, very fun deck. Like I said, I played Ginyu since set 1. It's very fun. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I win 100% of the time, but it's just great to look at your opponent, see that they know that they've clinched victory, and then for you just to rejuve 8 allies, or 4 allies. Make them mill 8. I just increased my deck by 4. Now what? Every game that I played has been very close. Very, very close. 10, 15 cards left in deck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot less.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just that. Another change that I would make to it, there's a big problem with your drill getting discarded because, you know, Namek DB4 is still a thing. So I am considering adding in dominance so that I can jump myself up to that level 2 to bring myself back down to that level 1 to keep my drill in play.
And even when you dominance up, you still get the drill.
And even when you dominance up, you get the drill. So that's combat, you know what I mean? So that's that.
Okay. All right, man. Well, the deck looks solid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, you know the deal. This is Rafi from Team CCG. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz.
All right.